Good evening from San Ignacio Town. With the 9 o'clock news, I am Patrick Jones. In the headlines, by-election held today in Dangriga constituency. Firearm reported stolen in San Pedro Town. Cayo man loses court case over land. And Belize sends delegation to Pan American Games. We will have details of these and other stories coming up after these messages.
Take a moment, feel the rhythm of life. It keeps beating.
What if you took just a few seconds of every day to help someone else?
Every minute, it's yours and mine, mine.
It's amazing how the smallest things can have the greatest impact.
Make a difference. Pay it forward. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Are you always on the go? Tired of missing your favorite games while they're actually being played? Watch your games and sporting events live with Central TV and Internet's incredible MyTV. Simply log on to www.mitv.bz to get easy access to 25 channels, no matter where you are. With Central TV and Internet's MyTV, you're always in the game.
More vehicle owners are switching to the PureGuard line of motor oils, and with good reason. PureGuard comes in different grades and specifications. It carries the API certification and comes with the Westrac stamp of approval, guaranteed to make your engine run cleaner and longer, up to 10,000 miles. With PureGuard motor oil, your engine will have less wear and tear, give you maximum performance on the road, and give your vehicle better fuel mileage.
PureGuard, good quality, affordable oil.
Distributed exclusively by Westrac Limited, with branches in Spanish Lookout, Belmopan, Belize City, and Orange Walk Town. Here now is the news in details. Residents of the Dangriga constituency, which includes Hope Creek and Sarawee villages, today went to the polls to choose a new area representative. Today's by-election was necessary after the abrupt resignation last month of Ivan Ramos, who was elected in 2012 as a member of the People's United Party. 3 candidates contested today's by-election. Former Dangriga Mayor Frank Mena represented the United Democratic Party, while school teacher Anthony Sabal contested the seat for the People's United Party. Pastor Llewellyn Lucas was the 3rd candidate who ran on an independent ticket. Reports from Dangriga throughout the course of the day indicated that the bulk of the activity was at the Holy Ghost Primary School, where there was a steady flow of voters from the time the polls opened at 7 o'clock this morning. There were reports also of minor skirmishes during the course of the day as supporters of both major mass parties jostled to get voters entering the different polling stations. By 3 o'clock this afternoon, only 38% of the eligible voters had actually voted, which was a low voter turnout at that time of the day. 2 hours later, at 5 o'clock, the voter turnout went up to 53%, meaning that a total of 3,310 persons had voted. An hour later, when the polls closed, the overall voter turnout had not changed significantly and was still below the expected turnout. A total of 6,275 persons were eligible to vote in today's by-election. Reconciliation and counting of the votes is now underway at the Sacred Heart Parish Hall. If we find out the winner of today's by-election before the end of our newscast, we will scroll it at the bottom of the screen, and we'll have the full results of today's by-election in Thursday's newscast. The Supreme Court today issued a decision in the case of agronomist Angel Tech, who says the Lands Department began to share out parcels of his 250-acre plot in the Cayo district in 2012 following the general elections that year, despite his holding a paid-up lease that he was scheduled to renew with the support of the department. In court, senior counsel Saeed Musa argued that his client had a legitimate expectation that the lease would be renewed and had made conditions possible for it to be renewed, and the Minister of Natural Resources cannot act arbitrarily as to who gets land, but ensure that it is handed to deserving persons. Justice Shauna Griffith found that while the lease was active, the government's decision was in its commercial capacity rather than legislative, and essentially said that as a holder of all Crown land, the lease was not a guarantee of ownership. However, the door is open to further challenge, as explained by Associate Attorney from Musa and Balderramos, Wayne Piper, who spoke with reporters after the decision was handed down.
The judge had found that on the evidence, Mr. Tech had a lease. She had found that he had made an application for an extension, and by all the evidence, it appears that extension was in fact approved. He had made payments, further payments in terms of the lease that were accepted. However, on the point of the matter being a judicial review, the judge dismissed the decision, took the decision to dismiss our claim, stating that the government was acting in its commercial capacity rather than in its government or public law capacity. So the judge pretty much slammed the door on us in terms of this claim, but left it open in terms of our findings and in terms of the fact that we are still able to bring another claim for a private law remedy, being the breach of the lease agreement or the breach of representations for an extension of the lease term.
Okay. Tech grasped at the silver lining offered by Justice Griffith and says he hopes to settle matters with the government, but he also says he will fight on to ensure justice.
Well, I am actually pleased to say that the judge's findings was totally positive towards this case, because the bottom line is that I still have a lease, right? Because having paid all areas, having gone through the whole process required to go through the payments of the areas and the lease, etc., she found out that, well, technically I have a right to the land up to now. The only hitch on the process was that I used the wrong court. I used the public court instead of the private court, because a lease basically is a contractual arrangement. And I am prepared to go through to the end, because I'm a warrior, you know, an Indian warrior, and I go to the end. So I think that if we cannot come to an amicable resolution to this problem, we are going to the private court. We're going to appeal, and we are going to fight it to the end.
Deputy Solicitor General Nigel Hawke represented the ministry. The options open to Tech are to sue the government in its private capacity as administrator of lands, or try to settle the matter by obtaining another piece of land. An armed robbery was reported in Hopkins Village. Police say that Alison Levinson reported that a week ago she and her husband were accosted while sitting on the veranda of a local guest house by a group of 6 persons. Levinson reported that one of the men pointed a firearm at them and proceeded to rob the couple of an iPhone and wallet containing personal documents and cash before making good their escape. Police say they have since detained 4 men from Hopkins Village pending a robbery investigation. A San Pedro man has reported that his licensed firearm has been stolen. According to 35-year-old Walter Medina, he had parked his golf cart in front of the San Pedro Church on Barrier Reef Drive on Saturday night and walked a few feet away to talk with someone. Medina told police that when he returned, he noticed that his bag that was on the front seat of the golf cart was missing. Inside the bag, Medina says that he had his licensed 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 13 live rounds of ammunition, cash, and other personal belongings. Police investigations continue. Meanwhile, in Corozal, 22-year-old Arnaldo Peck has been arrested and charged for the offense of kept ammunition without a gun license. Peck was found in possession of a box containing 9 16-gauge cartridges when police stopped and searched him on Tuesday night near the Pueblo Nuevo Ferry Road. Police found the cartridges inside a knapsack that Peck was carrying. A pair of bar owners has been brought up on charges of keeping their establishment open past closing time. 38-year-old Jose Mejia and 34-year-old Oscar Mejia are accused of keeping their licensed premises open past closing time. The brothers from Ladyville Village in the Belize District appeared in the Belize City Magistrates Court today and pleaded not guilty when the charge was read to them before Senior Magistrate Sharon Fraser. The Mejia brothers are accused, or they were released on bail of $600 each and ordered to return to Magistrates Court on September 6th. According to court documents, the cocktail bar on Woodpecker Street in Ladyville, owned by Jose Mejia, was found to be open between midnight and 2:45 this morning when it should have been closed at midnight. In court, Jose Mejia claimed not to have been at the bar at the time, only arriving after police went there. Oscar Mejia was there, but he said the building's front door was locked and only the back door was open. When police came to the bar, they were doing sales checks. There was no word on if there were any customers present at the time. You are watching the 9 o'clock news. We will have more of the day's stories for you right after these messages.
Belize Camping Experience would like to thank everyone who makes BCE successful and meaningful.
To our summer camp supporters and volunteers who came from communities across Belize.
To all who supported, contributed,
and volunteered with our Harvest for Kids project.
Funds raised through last year's rice and corn crop will help maintain BCE's children's programs through 2015.
You can also support BCE by buying your bag of Circle R Premium Rice with the Harvest for Kids logo, now in a new package.
Together we can and will make a positive difference in this beautiful country of Belize.
You too can ride off into the sunset. Milon motorbikes are very affordable. There's a high availability for parts and a wide selection of models to choose from. My Milon, my bike. Available countrywide.
Hi.
Hi. Patience. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Welcome back to the 9 o'clock news. Belize will have representation at the 17th Pan American Games, which open in Toronto, Ontario, Canada on Friday and continue through to July 26th. The Pan Am Games are held every 4 years and superseded only by the Olympic and Commonwealth Games. Belize's contingent to the Pan Am Games includes more officials than athletes, with just 3 athletes who will actually be competing. Ahmed Figueroa represents Belize in triathlon from July 11 and 12, while sprinters Kaina Martinez and Mark Anderson will run the 100 meters. Vice President of the Olympic Committee, Owen Main, was asked about the small size of the delegation today prior to departure from the Philip Goldson International Airport, and he explained to reporters that the level of competition has risen.
Not really one of the smallest. You see, these Panama Games, really, they're getting I would say stricter, but you have to qualify, really. Do a certain time or a certain length in the jump, or train the javelin a certain amount of and it's getting harder and harder for us. But our local Olympic committee has just gotten some equipment for the track team, and so with these new equipment they've gotten, I'm sure it's helped improve them. They've gotten some coaches coming in for them. And also made the offer to all the other associations.
So it's not so much a matter of finance as it is the qualifying times, and so are getting tougher too.
Finance does play a big part because these athletes need to go and compete against other athletes, but we don't have the finance for that all the time. But yes, the equipment is going to help.
Main noted that the Athletics Association has received a donation of equipment for the dedicated athletes, and coaching training will be made available this summer. Kaina Martinez attends Texas A&M University in Kingsville, Texas, and will travel from there to Toronto, while Dion Sutherland and Anderson will leave Belize next week. Only Figueroa, a first-time participant in Belize's first appearance in this event at these games, accompanied Main to the airport today. He told reporters how he got started in triathlon and his goals for this prestigious competition.
I went for camp in Ecuador last year with some athletes from other countries and coaches from other countries. And also the Lionman, I did the Lionman last year in Belize City, and some other local events.
Okay, and there are, I guess, qualifying standards that you have to pass. Okay. Now, I imagine this must be very exciting for you, going up against some of the best athletes in this hemisphere. How are the nerves right now?
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous. It's the first time I'm competing internationally, so competing with the big guns out there, it's really nervous.
What are you expecting to win, to do well? What are your goals and aspirations for this particular event?
Well, my goal right now is to go out there and give my all, and I'll see how that turns out. But I just want to go out and try to make Belize proud, try to make everyone proud.
Belize has never won an individual medal in any of the major world games, but the women's softball team holds Belize's only medals in international competition in these games, taking bronze in 1979 and 1983. The Belize delegation to the Pan Am Games includes lead officials, President of the Olympic Committee Hilly Martinez, Vice President Owen Sonny Main, and General Secretary Yolanda Fonseca. The Chief of Mission is Alan Sharp, and the athletics delegate is Dion Sutherland. An art competition in honor of the 34th anniversary of Belize's independence has been launched by Western Union in collaboration with the National Institute of Culture and History. The competition is being held with the theme Connecting Art, Passion and Patriotism. It is open to all residents of Belize, and according to an official release announcing the competition, participants can draw, paint, or use computer software to create the poster. The piece must be original and must include the Western Union logo and can have any combination of colors and styles. The art piece must be no bigger than 11 inches by 17 inches and should not exceed 1/4 of an inch in thickness. Entries will be judged on creativity, originality, and adherence to the theme. Entries are to be submitted by 5 p.m. on August 12th. The winners will be announced on August 25th during an event which will be held at the Belial Art Gallery at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. The senior winner will walk away with a cash prize of $1,000, while the junior winner will take home $500 in cash. The news on the national channel. More vehicle owners are switching to the PureGuard line of motor oils, and with good reason. PureGuard comes in different grades and specifications. It carries the API certification and comes with the Westrac stamp of approval, guaranteed to make your engine run cleaner and longer, up to 10,000 miles. With PureGuard motor oil, your engine will have less wear and tear, give you maximum performance on the road, and give your vehicle better fuel mileage.
PureGuard, good quality, affordable oil.
Distributed exclusively by Westrac Limited, with branches in Spanish Lookout, Belmopan, Belize City, and Orange Walk Town.
Are you always on the go? Tired of missing your favorite games while they're actually being played? Watch your games and sporting events live with Central TV and Internet's incredible MyTV. Simply log on to www.mitv.bz to get easy access to 25 channels, no matter where you are. With Central TV and Internet's MyTV, you're always in the game.
A tropical wave will cross the country tonight and tomorrow and will maintain moist and unstable conditions over the country. The general forecast for Belize and her coastal waters is for cloudy skies with some showers and a few thunderstorms over most areas, but especially over central and southern districts. Winds over the open sea and along the coast will be easterly at 10 to 20 knots, becoming gusty near showers and thunderstorms. The sea state will be moderate, becoming locally rough at times. Operators of small craft should exercise caution in rough seas. Low temperatures tonight will be 78 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 73 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and 68 degrees Fahrenheit up in the hills. High temperatures on Thursday will be 86 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 90 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and a comfortable 78 degrees Fahrenheit up at the exposed areas of the mountain Pine Ridge and along the Maya Mountains in the south. The tides. A low tide is now occurring. This will be followed by a high tide at 3:44 a.m. on Thursday. The sun will rise at 5:24 tomorrow morning. It will set at 6:32 tomorrow evening. The extended forecast, valid through to Friday afternoon, is for mostly cloudy skies with a few showers and isolated thunderstorms, mainly over southern and some coastal areas on Thursday night and Friday morning, and then decreasing. And that is a look at the weather with information provided by forecaster Michael Gentle at the Belize Weather Bureau. Things remain quiet in the Atlantic, but the Pacific Ocean is a different story. Here is the tropical update.
We've been following this system here, and it does look like it is going to go north of Hawaii. Right now, winds at 35 miles an hour. It's moving northwest at 17. That's very fast for a tropical entity. So where is it going to go? Guess what? If you're headed to Hawaii or you know someone that lives there, I know actually, you know what? They're probably like 2 weeks ahead of me on this thing, because surfers, all they do, they know the weather, I feel like, better than some of us meteorologists, because they look at it 24 hours a day constantly. We're going to see, look at that, our waves coming in. So I know the surfers are getting stoked, as they say here in Hawaii, as it goes all the way through the weekend. So we're going to have several days probably of good surfing here along Fetch.
To summarize the news, here are the main points again. By-election held today in Dangriga constituency. Firearm reported stolen in San Pedro town. Cayo man loses court case over land, and Belize sends delegation to Pan American Games. With the headlines, we end this edition of the 9 o'clock news. Thank you for joining us. I am Patrick Jones. Have a good evening and a good night.